It's time for The Drive with Q on Sports Radio 102.9 FM The Game. Now, here's Q.
Good afternoon, everyone. And how about that start? A little technical difficulties to start us off on a Monday, but that's okay. You know why? Because it could be worse. It could absolutely be worse. 5 o'clock on the East Coast, a Monday edition of The Drive with Q. Rich Quinones here, mi hermano. Andrew Martinez behind the glass producing the show. We'll take you up to 6-ish, a rapid fire edition on this Monday. You know why it could be worse? As we welcome you inside the Sports Radio 102.9 FM studios. Do you want to know why it could be worse? As we welcome you into the Coastal Sports Network. I'll ask you one more time on this Monday, the 21st of October, 2024. Do you know why or how it could be worse? It could be worse if you woke up this morning a Met fan. It could be worse if you woke up this morning a Giant fan. It could be worse if you woke up this morning a Jet fan. That's how bad it was, aside from my Yankees advancing to the World Series, where they'll take on the Dodgers. We'll talk a little more about that Wednesday with Hall of Fame voter Steve Gardner from USA Today. But from a football standpoint, it was a lousy weekend. And I know you guys are chomping at the bit. I know you guys are chomping at the bit on this Monday edition of The Drive. And yes, I can see the angry listeners coming in already. 727-858-6650. We have to start. I thought maybe, I mentioned this on Back Your Play with Q, and I also mentioned this on the Football Friday edition. I told you the Giants were not winning this game. I made it clear, crystal clear, that the Giants were going to lose this game by at least 17 points. And I actually came back on over the weekend with Lloyd on a Saturday edition. I said, I don't care if Saquon Barkley goes off. I don't care if Saquon Barkley has 160-something yards, which I think I predicted 165 and a couple scores. I don't care. Because you never beat the Eagles if you're the New York Giants. Ever. And at home, you're absolutely an atrocity. You're a joke. So as much as I want to come on today and have to wax poetic and eat the crow because the Philadelphia Eagles, which I knew, spanked the New York Giants on Sunday, which was not a surprise, by the way, in a game that wasn't even competitive. See, there's the problem. In a game that you don't show up and you lose 28-3, it's bad enough if you lose a football game. I don't have a problem with that. And then you guys get on me because I sit there and tell you I want to go fishing on a Sunday because I don't want to deal with this crap anymore. I don't want to have to watch this horribly run franchise because that's exactly what they are. The New York Giants have absolutely no identity. The New York Giants cannot get out of their own way. They're a team. They're a floundering franchise. And I don't know how you can sit here and actually not think anything less. They're a bad football team. They're a poorly run franchise. This is not the team from 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 years ago. It's embarrassing to watch. It's absolutely embarrassing to watch. So then you add insult to injury, and that's exactly what that was yesterday. You have Saquon coming back, and anyone that thought Saquon Barkley was not going to light up the New York Giants, you're sadly mistaken. I told you this. I got Swampland with Eric Estrada on a 2 a.m. on a Tuesday night to sell you. You knew he was going to be motivated. You knew he was going to come out guns a-blazing. You knew he was going to run hard and try to stick it to the Giants. Everyone in the stadium knew that. But the fact that they came out again and actually got outclassed, outcoached by Nick Sirianni, outclassed by the Philadelphia Eagles, the fact that they didn't even show up, that is alarming. And you cannot tolerate that. You cannot, as a fan, tolerate a lack of effort, lack of heart, lack of want. You can't. And that's what I saw yesterday. That's what I saw. It's embarrassing. The whole organization from top to bottom. I haven't even gotten to the play on the field as a whole. But why do you want to watch this crap? Why would you want to subject yourself every Sunday? Because you only get 17 nice Sundays in the fall. I mean, you're talking about a franchise, my beloved Giants, that couldn't even show up yesterday. That the quarterback looks like he's absolutely inept and lost. That guys are dropping passes. Guys are blowing assignments. You're trying to friggin' throw the football all game long when you realize you don't have your best left tackle, one of the best in the game in Andrew Thomas. You got a turnstile back there in the guards and the linemen. You have linebackers overshooting the gap. You couldn't get a ground game going. You decide to run the ball 3 times. It's embarrassing. I'm done. I'm over it. You cannot, as a fan, as I said, accept what you are seeing. You can't. I don't care what team it is, because some teams yesterday, they were a disgrace. But I'm not going to watch this nonsense. I'm not. Why should I put myself out there and invest my time and watch this? Why? Because it's my job? I can go back and watch these games just like I did this morning. Situation for you. Guess what? The outcome, it didn't change. I'm sorry. As a fan, I need heart. I need want. I need effort. And what I saw yesterday was an absolute disgrace. I don't care if you get blown out, man. Be competitive. I don't care if you lose football games. Be competitive. This team's not even competitive. They're not even competitive. They don't even want to show up. You got a rival in the Philadelphia Eagles. You can't get up for that game? And I don't want to hear this nonsense, this garbage. You're supposed to be a diehard friggin' fan. Why? Because I don't sit there on a Sunday and waste my friggin' afternoon and watch this nonsense? I watched it this morning. I spit my fresh roasted coffee out several times. I don't need to watch this garbage. I got a quarterback that's inept. I have a head coach that's outclassed and looks like a friggin' clown. I got an offense that's inept. I'm not going to watch this stuff anymore. I'm not. I'll watch it a day after. It's not about being a diehard fan. That's not what it's about. It's about accepting losing. I'm not going to accept it anymore. And why would you? As any fan, the GM, the head coach, they should all be on the hot seat. This quarterback stinks. Daniel Jones cannot play anymore. This is what you need to do. You need to just let it go. Move on. Just stop already with this nonsense. Thinking this kid, again, can play. He can't. He's not a starting level quarterback in the NFL. And if he is, it's not with New York. And that's the problem I have. I don't care. Lose the game, man, but be competitive. You got players not even tackling. Meanwhile, Barkley's running all over the place. Hurts is scrambling. Banks didn't want to touch him. You can't accept that as a fan. You can't accept that as anyone that watches your respective team. You can't. And we saw that yesterday in the NFL. Trust me, because I'm going to get to the Jets in a moment. Look, the Eagles did what they had to do. They came out. They didn't look like world beaters, but they buried the Giants like they always do, and they got the win, and more importantly, they moved to 4-2. Hey, bravo. You beat a team you should have friggin' beat. They still have some issues. I mean, my God, the Giants all week long, you're looking at the film against the Cleveland Browns, and you're saying to yourself, 4th and short, they're going to call an audible, they're going to go for it. Well, what the hell did they do yesterday? 4th and short, here we go. Jalen Hurts, right in the breadbasket. A.J. Brown, Saquon Barkley, off tackle. It was embarrassing. It was embarrassing. Like, make a tackle, make a play. You got wide receivers running wide open. And by the way, Malik Neighbors is a very good young player. I like Malik Neighbors. He's a talented kid. But he's also got to learn, even if it's the truth, you don't basically come out and say, well, you watched the tape, I was open. You don't do that. You don't, because your quarterback, as much as I can stand Daniel Jones right now, and Brian Daboll's going to stick with Daniel Jones because he realizes that Tommy DeVito and Drew Lock do not give him a chance to win ball games. It might be a moot point because I've said this ad nauseum. When this team is 2-6, 2-7, 2-8, they're benching Daniel Jones. They don't want him to get hurt. So they're going to put him in bubble wrap so they don't have to pay him. This is where we're at right now. This is where we're at. They misjudged this. And again, it's not about Saquon. They weren't going to pay Saquon Barkley. They're not. Again, I know people want to revert back to Hard Knocks and, man, I'm not going to be able to sleep well. Well, he signed with the Eagles and he came back and he shoved it up your you-know-what. It happens, man. Life goes on. But the problem is they invested money in an offensive line because they wanted to run it back with a quarterback. That's what they wanted to do. And oh, by the way, when they were running it back with the quarterback, they were paying him off of what he did several years ago. Hence, $160, $40 million guaranteed to win on the road against Minnesota. Then he gets hurt last year, and you're saying to yourself, uh-oh, here we go. They're naive to think Daniel Jones is the answer. He's not. He's not the answer. He's not even an enigma. He's not even inconsistent. He's inept. I mean, I can't even give you numbers. You know why? Because there's no numbers to give you. He can't score. He can't pass for a touchdown at home. He just can't. And like I said, Neighbors, you dropped the ball against Washington. You had the big drop the other day, a couple games ago, on a fourth down play. You're a good, talented, young receiver. Don't throw your quarterback under the bus. You want to hold him accountable? Talk to him man-to-man. But here's the problem. The Giants failed to land any of the top 3 quarterbacks, and they took him with the 6th pick. Jones, he got a stay of execution. It's exactly what it was. I mean, you got Nick Sirianni, who you guys know I can't stand, but he's being aggressive. He's going for it on fourth down. What about Brian Daboll? Where's all the guts that we saw a couple years ago on the road, Tennessee? Go for 2. Go for the friggin' win. This is inexplicable. Twice. Daboll punted on 4th and 3 from inside the Eagles' 43-yard line on the game's opening position. The Giants didn't advance that deep into Philadelphia territory again until their final possession of the first half. Then, this is the moment when I'm watching this game back this morning. This was the moment I realized all is lost. All is lost. The Giants drive all the way down to the Eagles' 10-yard line late in the second quarter. You had the Theo Johnson touchdown, right? It was negated by the offensive pass interference. Whatever, ticky-tack, pal, fine. You got a 3rd and 14 from the Philly 20 with about 14 seconds to go, no timeouts. You know what this coach does? This gutless coach? He decides he's going to kick a 38-yarder. So let me cut the deficit to 14-3. You had time to take a shot. Again, that's why you signed Daniel Jones to a 4-year, $160 million contract during the offseason. And now you got a little escape hatch built in the deal after the season. I mean, so obviously they're going after a quarterback. But that's embarrassing. It's embarrassing the product that you're putting out on the field. So as a fan, why do I want to watch that? Why do I want to subject myself to that nonsense? There's zero leadership on this team. None. There's no leaders on this team. And oh, by the way, as piss poor as the Giants played yesterday, and they got taken to the woodshed by their rival, the Philadelphia Eagles, doubly piss poor, and talk about lack of leadership, are the New York Jets. Because last night, all I heard all week long, oh my God, Pittsburgh, Russell Wilson, Justin Fields, and maybe Mike Tomlin knew something we didn't know because I criticized the move. Give Russell Wilson credit. He played well last night. He made plays. You know, Chris Collingsworth, I don't know if he got paid every time he mentioned Russell Wilson's name, but he mentioned a lot. I mean, that's a game last night. If you're a Jet fan, you get rid of the head coach. Here you go. You bring in Adams. You get Reddick back. Okay, we're running big time. Pittsburgh has all these issues. We're going to take advantage of it. We're going to expose them. We're going to exploit it. Russell Wilson can't scramble anymore. He's banged up. And you're winning this game. And you're thinking to yourself, it's going to be a nice Jet win. You're up 15-3. And then all of a sudden, boom. Now it's 15-13 going into the locker room. And then Pittsburgh just basically blows the doors off the Jets in the second half. And they beat them 37-15. I told you the Jets were not making the playoffs. They're 2-5. The Giants are 2-5. Both New York teams stink. Pittsburgh gets the win. They're 5-2. Russell Wilson put up some decent numbers. 264. They ran for $149. He had a couple of touchdowns. I think he was sacked once. And then on the flip side, You look at Aaron Rodgers. When are we going to sit here? When are we going to sit here and start talking about Aaron Rodgers? And the fact that Aaron Rodgers is cooked, he can't play anymore. You got two teams that put all their eggs in the quarterback basket. The Giants went 4 years for $160 for a quarterback that can't stay healthy, that can't throw the friggin' ball down the field, and his decision-making is piss poor. The Jets decided we're going to put all our eggs in a basket with an aging quarterback because we think he's going to bring in a little cachet. Let's sign Aaron Rodgers. Let's make that move. He gets hurt 4 offensive snaps into the season last year. He comes back this year, and he's talking like he's the leader of the franchise. I got news for you. Aaron Rodgers is not a leader. Aaron Rodgers is a selfish friggin' player, and Aaron Rodgers is cooked. I don't care what PFF said, top 10 quarter. Aaron Rodgers is not a top 10 quarterback in the NFL anymore. I mean, granted, Garrett Wilson, you got to make the play on the ball. Hit you right in the breadbasket. But Aaron Rodgers, you listen to him afterwards, this guy doesn't want to take accountability. He doesn't. I mean, this is exactly where we are at. He's cooked. He's done. He can't play at a high level anymore. I don't want to hear it. And he's not going to last the season. 24-39 for 276 and a couple of piss-poor interceptions. The one, fine. The receiver got him. But he missed throws. I don't want to hear this anymore about Aaron Rodgers and the Jets. And I don't want to hear any more about Aaron Rodgers because he never, ever, ever, ever holds himself accountable. It's always about what that guy didn't do, what that guy didn't do. I told you they were going to force feed the ball to Adams. That's exactly what they tried to do. This team is going to hit a nice little free fall right now. So if you're thinking, let me get on both these teams and I don't even have to hedge. I can start leaning the Jets and the Giants because they're both headed towards depressing seasons. Again, depressing seasons. Their seasons are going to be done before Halloween. You got one quarterback. You got a wide receiver running a deep route. You got another one running a dig. You got another one doing an up and out. And then bam, right in a blind spot. And there you go. The quarterback can't see him. Then you got another one that is so bored he's sitting there and you know what? He's trying to pick himself a winner on the sidelines. I don't want to hear this. He needs to play better. See, I'll get to your comments. Go ahead, fire them off. 727-858-6650. That's fine. Fire them off. Go ahead. I don't want to hear this nonsense anymore with these quarterbacks. I don't. I really don't. Oh, and let me get to the 49ers too later on in the show because you want to talk about a friggin' team that's cooked. They are cooked. Oh, and Jerry, I know you're on the boat. I hope you're enjoying the waters. Yeah, I'm going to get to your Patriots because they're a nice little topic of discussion today when we're talking about some of these coaches on the hot seat. Exactly. Because I'm supposed to be a diehard fan. It's not about being a diehard fan. Why? Because I don't sit there in real time and watch it 40-something odd years that I've been watching it. And no, X-Men, man, 19X. I'm not going to blow the gasket. Okay? They don't need my support. They don't. I'm over it. I'm over the nonsense that I've seen. I'm over bad franchise quarterbacking play. I'm over the fact that some of these teams are just inept. Penguin AC, good afternoon, Hermano Q. Right back at you. Again, I don't want to get into this conversation with you guys today. When we talk about the quarterback play, okay? And this is like rapid fire from you guys. My goodness. When we get into the quarterbacking play, 727-858-6650 on a Monday edition of The Drive right here on SR 1029 FM. No, Angel, he don't have to back you guys up on anything. What, the Aaron Rodgers saying he needs to play better? Exactly. Of course he does. But when I say accountability, he threw Mike Williams under the bus last week. Imagine Mike Williams dropping that 4th down play last night. I mean, that would have been it. He wouldn't have gone back on the plane to go back to New York. Or if it's a short drive, the bus, whatever. Quarterbacking plays everything in the NFL. But Aaron Rodgers is not a leader. Daniel Jones is not a leader. You put all your eggs in 2 quarterback baskets and it's blown up in your face. I told you guys this. You guys crushed me. You guys absolutely crushed me. Okay? Last year and a half ago, when I sat there and I said, don't go after Aaron Rodgers, go after Lamar Jackson. Okay? It's exactly what I said. No, I'm not. Well, hold on. Who's posting from my YouTube channel? Angel's now taking over with the comments. I'm sitting there saying, I got my hands right here. Who's commenting behind my back? What do we got? AI generated? Um, Mike Williams is a bunker boy trying to understand simple logic. Yeah, well, this is true. We know a lot of those, don't we? I don't want to hear any more about Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, you know what? Get out of here, Angel. It's bad quarterbacking play all around, man. I mean, I can't for the life of me. Let me give you some numbers, and then you guys wonder why I get so aggravated with this team. The Giants are 2-5. They're 0-3 against the NFC East. Okay? Your GM and your head coach are 1-10 in games against the Eagles and the Cowboys during 3 seasons. The one win came against the Eagles when they were resting starters. The Giants are 10-21-1 since their 7-2 start back in 2022. There's no hope. There's no hope. The defense kept him in for a quarter, and that was pretty much it. You feed Saquon, you feed him, he's going to break one. 17 touches, $176. Are you kidding me? Deonte Banks, you going to tackle? You going to go after Jalen Hurts? I mean, that's what we saw yesterday. I saw it around the whole league in the NFL. The quarterbacking play stinks. I posted which head coach has the hottest seat right now in the NFL. Antonio Pierce, because what's going on in Vegas is a friggin' disgrace. Brian Daboll in New York, or how about this? Mayo with New England. Because you have a first-year head coach, okay? A first-year head coach coming out, doesn't know his you-know-what from his you-know-what, and now he's calling his players soft. You never had anything like that with Bill Belichick. You just never did. Patriots fans could attest. I don't need to be up there in that market to understand what I'm talking about, or you guys understand where I'm going with this. I mean, listen, you can say it in the locker room if you're trying to light a spark. Belichick's not doing that. Bill Belichick was never 1-6. Bill Belichick never described his team as soft. Bill Belichick never got a pass that Gerard Mayo's getting right now. I mean, this guy's 1-6. You guys were pissing on the hoodie when he was 6-2. He's not going to last a season. He's not. They are poor. Remember in the beginning of the year, where's Jovan Alford, by the way, who was crushing me? What did I say, Angel, in the beginning of the year? Which team did I say was going to be one of the worst teams in the NFL because the roster construction and the coaching staff? I'll give you 2 seconds to answer. You can't answer? I'll answer for you. New England Patriots. New England Patriots. And all I heard, their defense is a little better. They are a horrible football team. He's not going to last. He's not going to last. They're a bad football team. I mean, that win against Cincinnati, if you're Cincinnati, you're saying to yourself, how the hell did we lose to the Patriots to open up the season? It's embarrassing. I mean, I don't think a head coach coming out, college coaches, they say that, we're a little soft today. We got to play harder. NFL coaches don't typically do that. NFL coaches don't come out and say, we're soft. And then you have what's going on in Vegas. I mean, what the hell's going on with Antonio Pierce? And that team, they lose their quarterback. He's out. Antonio Pierce had to come out, and this is the story everyone's going to take. You can say you're not a good football team right now, but then he almost hedged it by saying, but hold on, we're not tanking. I mean, listen, it's never a good sign for a football team when their head coach has to come out and say, we're not intentionally trying to lose games. Did anyone catch that? Or am I the only one? Your head coach is coming out and he's saying, we're not tanking. Well, why do you have to even say that? You don't put that out there. Then everyone can speculate. Oh, man, can you believe this? The Raiders are tanking. Pierce is going to be out of a job. Brady's going to turn around. He's going to hire Belichick. And here we go. You don't say that. That's a no-no, man. That is an absolute no-no. They're a bad football team. And he can sit there and say there's a lot of football left. The season's over, man. I mean, they don't have to tank in order to lose games. They're just not good. Like, again, I can accept being bad. I don't care if it's the Knicks, the Yankees, as a fan of teams, I'm okay if you're a bad football team or you're a bad team. I can accept that. Sometimes the team is not assembled the right way. Sometimes they make mistakes. They don't make the trades. They don't release guys. They do release guys. They don't pay guys. They bring in the wrong coach, the wrong GM. It happens. But when you start to get into can't score touchdowns at home, you're not competitive, you're not tackling, you've had a decade plus a bad play on the field, you're not even dominant at home, you can't score, you can't move the ball offensively. Your coach, who prided himself on being a risk taker, an aggressive coach, has now crawled into a shell. If you gave Brian Daboll truth serum, he would say, I don't friggin' want Daniel Jones as my quarterback. Get this guy the hell away from me. And he's going to give you coach speak because that's what they have to do. But when I see no effort, when I see lack of heart, when I see lack of passion, you got to call it out. You got to call it out. And I guarantee you, listen, I'll tell you this, and you know this, former Giants listening to the show, they're probably not going to be happy how I'm killing them. But the tape don't lie. The film doesn't lie. Former players listen in when we talk football. Some of them don't like the opinions, but the film doesn't lie. The tape doesn't lie sometimes. You can't mask it. You can't hide it. So all these teams in the NFL that are not showing up and you're making business decisions, it's a disgrace. When you're getting blown out in the third quarter, when fans are leaving at home, ownership, they take notice of that. I mean, Philly, you guys know this. Chip Kelly, you get blown out by Miami, Tampa Bay, and Detroit. Guys, fans are leaving in the third quarter. Chip Kelly was gone. Giant fans knew this with Judge and Shermer and McAdoo. You're losing 35-3, 42-10 to the Rams in the third quarter on a dreary Sunday afternoon in December a couple years ago, and they convert a 3rd and 30 for a touchdown. Fans are like, the hell with this. And coaches get fired. Patriots fans are probably at their wits' ends right now. Raiders fans are like, here we go again. They gave Antonio Pierce that job. They turned around and gave Antonio Pierce that job. Or I should say they promoted him. They slapped the interim tag off of him. You want to know why? Because they beat the Chiefs on Christmas Day. That's all. They beat the Chiefs on Christmas Day, and they had a really nice franchise win. Antonio Pierce, great player, good guy, not a head coach in the NFL. He's just not. I told you this last week. It's not about they'll run through a wall. They'll play for this guy. They don't. It's all about business decisions. It's all about money. It's all about contracts and incentives. But you got to play for pride with that. You have to have some fight, some passion, some heart. And what I saw last night, or what I saw again this morning, what was witnessed yesterday afternoon and then last night was gutless performances. And if you're a fan, you say enough is enough. None of this, oh, you only lost by 17. You only lost by 20. Oh, you got an, oh, by the way, touchdown. It's embarrassing, the product that we're seeing right now in the NFL. It's utterly embarrassing. And then you're seeing teams that you didn't think were going to be good. Except, oh, by the way, if you said that Washington was going to win the NFC East like I did, they won again. They went out there without Jaden Daniels, who got hurt. And then Mariota comes in and they whitewashed Carolina. That game wasn't even competitive. You got Kansas City with all their injuries. I mean, Shanahan, let's talk about Shanahan, right? Shanahan was supposed to be the next coming. What the hell's going on in San Francisco? That quarterback looks pedestrian, but I don't hear 49ers fans coming out. Purdy's making interceptions all over the place. Now they lose Ayuk, right? Ayuk is on fire. We don't care. I mean, the Ayuk, that's a big loss. San Francisco's in trouble. I'm not going to say they're cooked, but they're getting marinated right now. We said this last week. Week 6, 7, and 8, man, you better have a friggin' identity in the NFL. You better have an identity. Teams that needed to step up and rebound. Buffalo stepped up and rebound. Pittsburgh, again, give Tomlin credit. I don't like the move. See, I would have thought if I'm Tomlin, if Russell Wilson didn't have the calf injury early, I would have started Russell Wilson. And then if Russell Wilson would have played poorly, okay, Justin, it's your opportunity. Go out there, show us what you can do. Because remember now, Wilson, Fields, and the running back, they're all on one-year contracts. They're show-me deals. And then you stick with Fields. But then you can't go back to Wilson. So now they start Fields. Wilson wins a game on primetime and looks pretty good. He's going to get the start again, most likely against the Giants on Monday Night Football. Avert your eyes. Now, if Wilson struggles over the next couple weeks, you think Mike Tomlin's going to go back to Justin Fields? I don't see that happening. The quarterbacking play in the NFL and the overall play has just been abysmal. I mean, thank God can you imagine if I would have had to come on the air today and the Yankees would have friggin' lost? I mean, Juan Soto walked me off the bridge after what I've been witnessing the last couple weeks. It would have been horrible. What am I going to celebrate the New York Liberty? Is that what I'm going to? Which, by the way, the WNBA, they pretty much handed them. And listen, congratulations to the Liberty. Congratulations. I saw some highlights of that game. Now, let's just say there were some very questionable calls. But I'm not going to hang my hat on them winning a championship. Congratulations. But there were some real questionable calls in that game. And they lost a lot of money this year. I mean, listen, I still believe you don't kick a gift horse in the mouth. And we know about Caitlin Clark. We talked all season long about it. So you get the Jets getting blown out. You get the Giants not showing up. You get the magical Mets. You knew their run was going to end. If I'd have come here today and the Giants lost and the Yankees lost, there wasn't enough fresh roasted coffee, our proud sponsor of the Drive with Q, to just settle me in and calm me down. 727-858-6650. Joe in Summers Point on Facebook chiming in. Q, I missed your all-time great rants when you were on the radio, crushing the Giants, giving a little bit of credit to my Philadelphia Eagles, and you're right about one thing. The head coach has absolutely no guts for the Giants. He's not going to be an aggressive coach, and your quarterback stinks. He can't play anymore. I'm glad you finally admitted it. Joe, come on, man. I admitted this how many weeks ago? I admitted this pretty much last year.
Yeah, true.
I feel as though Daniel Jones is like the girl you go out with and you constantly keep breaking up and you feel like, okay, it's going to be different this time. It never is. It isn't. It never is. It's so seriously, right? Let's go out. We go out. We go out. We have all these fights and everyone knows, like in Seinfeld, what's the best thing about the fights? Got to have the makeup sex. That's the best part of the relationship. And then all of a sudden, it's just not there. The spark, the love is gone. So it's like, what's going to change? Nothing changes. It's the same crap. Break up on a Monday. We don't talk for a couple of days. Friday, it's understood. We're going to go see each other. And then you repeat and rinse and repeat and rinse. It's the same freaking nonsense. Stop laughing. It's exactly how I feel about Daniel Jones. It's madness. Angel, come on, man. You keep doing the same friggin' thing over and over and over, and you expect a different result. That is Webster's Dictionary of insanity. It's Webster's Dictionary being a Giant fan. Enough is enough. And you guys want to kill me with your heckles and your troll, the old man in the sea. I friggin' saw comments, Aquaman. Why? Because I want to go out on a Sunday and I want to enjoy what's left of fall striper season. And I'm going to get my balls broke because I didn't sit in front of a TV from 1 to 4 and watch them lose by 25 points to the team that I cannot stand, to the fan base that I cannot stand, to the head coach that I just want to punch in the eye. No. Absolutely not.
But you know what's the worst part though? It's like it's because they've been through breakups like that. It's like you're going to like, all right, come on, Daniel, we're gonna make this better, right? We're getting back together. Damn it, Daniel, you did it to me again.
I don't want to hear it anymore.
You're right.
I don't. It's madness, and I don't. And the Aaron Rodgers experiment is done.
Oh, by the way, did you hear what he said to supposedly the excuses of who not to listen to?
Who are we talking about? Aaron Rodgers?
See.
After the game, post game?
Yeah.
I don't pay any mind to it. He said, stop listening to you guys, number one. Okay, then stop going on friggin' McAfee.
Right. Exactly.
Seriously. Then stop going on McAfee. I wonder if McAfee asked him, the $64,000 question. Were you picking a winner on the sideline? What were you doing? Listen, I've accepted it once again. My season is over before Halloween. It's really depressing. So hopefully the Yankees in 6. That might cure me a little bit. But yeah, yesterday in the NFL, you saw once again. You guys saw it. I saw it. The level of play in the NFL is just, I mean, my picks. So 3-2. And I thought Minnesota, listen, that was a great game yesterday. Minnesota and Detroit, one of the best games of the weekend. Two very talented teams in the NFC. San Francisco is in trouble. I don't care what anyone tells me. There's something offensively fundamentally broke now with that offense and the play calling. That quarterback is starting to regress a little bit. I don't want to hear when they get healthy, they're going to right the ship. I don't believe that. The Packers right now, this is me. I believe the Packers and the Lions are the two best teams in the NFC. Now, I don't want to hear from the Bucs fan. I don't want to hear again from the Bucs fan. Let me see what happens tonight. They go out and they beat Baltimore. We are on the air on Wednesday. Then you guys can give it to me. I'll give Tampa Bay some credit. I don't think I don't even think that number is going to be covered tonight, to be quite honest with you. I think they're going to get to Baker Mayfield, but they're a good team. Tampa Bay is a good team. Green Bay is a really good team. We liked them on Friday. We liked them on Back Your Play. We told you take Green Bay. That's a gut check win for the Green Bay Packers, man. See, when you're a young enough team and you don't know any better, that's a blessing in disguise. That's a blessing in disguise because you're almost ignorant to the fact we shouldn't even be here. So you look at Detroit, Jared Goff, front runner right now for MVP. Darnold, again, that was a crazy game. He's right there, MVP. Jordan Love, you got to stick him in the MVP race. To me, I think those are the three best teams right now in the NFC. I can't put San Francisco or Tampa Bay pending tonight, and I can't put Washington there because I need to know the health of Jaden Daniels, who is trying to run away with Offensive Rookie of the Year. That's your NFC right now. You go to the AFC side of the ball. Kansas City didn't look like a world beater. Kansas City they're such a veteran playoff tested team. They make the plays when they have to, and Mahomes is a magician. He's unbelievable. I mean, they're 6-0, and they only have a plus 43 point differential. Pittsburgh Steelers have a better difference from that, 2 losses. But Kansas City's Kansas City. Baltimore's a really good team. And then you got Buffalo that rebounded, and they won 2 straight. Miami's done. I don't care if Tua comes back. The Jets are cooked. They're done. Cincinnati starting to find a little bit of a groove. And then how about yesterday? Did you guys see this? Deshaun Watson goes down. Now, I had a cup of coffee doing radio in Ohio, and that is a fanatical sports town. I didn't like it for several reasons. I live right next door to drug dealers, and it snowed in September. So So I got that going against me. But how about this? Deshaun Watson goes down. Obviously tore. What did he tear? His ACL or his Achilles? Non-contact.
ACL, I believe, was.
Okay. And what do? They're cheering? I mean, listen, he's a bad guy. Don't get me wrong. He's a bad guy. He's a bad human being. They're cheering this guy? Yeah, Achilles. Yeah. And Jameis Winston sitting up there after saying, this, that, the other. I mean, hey man, let's not play the martyr, right? For Deshaun Watson. I mean, I'm not going to sit here. I feel bad. I just think it's tasteless and classless that you're cheering the guy goes down with an injury like that, right? You tear your Achilles, it pops. Here you go. You watch the replay. It's not good. And that's a bad team right now. And that coach is on the hot seat. I mean, think about that. All the money you invested in that quarterback, every penny is guaranteed, and he's out for the season again. So we're talking about all these injuries now. Raiders quarterback down. 49ers losing players. Giants losing their tackle. Tua is supposed to be coming back. Who else you got there? You got Watson going down. You got injuries all over. They're mounting up for some of these teams. It's a war of attrition in the NFL. These teams aren't going to last. They're just not. You got 5 or 6 good teams in the NFL. The rest are all average. And then the bottom, they all stink. They all stink. The NFC East, it stinks. Washington's a good team. Eagles are 4-2, but they're a flawed team. Dallas stinks, and the Giants are probably one of the worst teams in the NFL. NFC North is probably your best division. And then you watch what transpired yesterday. Atlanta, New Orleans, Carolina. They're bad football teams, man. The quality of play in the NFL is just, it's not as good as we once saw. It just isn't. And the coaching, it's not good. Coaching is not good. And I saw Mariota came in and he played well. Yeah, I don't know how long. Thank you, Penguin. I don't know how long Daniels is going to be out. I mean, again, he was smiling, MRI. Again, it's week to week right now. The kid's tough. But they can win against the Bears, and they can win against the Giants, and they can win against the Steelers with Mariota, I believe. Listen, he's a pro's pro, man. They'll run the football and they'll play defense. And when they're at home, they're unstoppable. They're unstoppable. Washington, you got the front runner and offensive rookie of the year. Maybe if he continues to play and they make the playoffs, you stick him in the MVP race. And then you got head coaching candidate, head coach of the year in Quinn. I mean, that's where you're at with the NFL right now. But again, man, I can't, for the life of me, I just can't deal with just the poor quarterbacking play I saw last night with the Jets and yesterday with the Giants, and it's around the league. I can't watch it anymore. It's bad. I mean, the numbers don't lie. This is why it's so important. I mean, Joe Shane used number 6 pick, okay, 107, 166, all on offense this season to help the quarterback. He used picks 57, 73, 172 in the offseason to help the quarterback. He retooled the offensive line, okay, to help the quarterback. And the quarterback looks exactly like he was in 2020, 2021, and last year. And he cannot throw the ball down the field. He's not explosive when he runs out of the pocket or the RPOs. So, again, talk about insanity. You fire coaches, you bring in different coordinators, the GM has changed. Multiple offensive coordinators. But what's the one constant? It's the quarterback. It's the quarterback. And you can sit here and tell me, well, this is why you don't pay the quarterback, or they should have re-signed Saquon Barkley, the best offensive weapon. No. You knew the quarterback was going to get paid because of what he did a couple years ago. And you knew he was going to get paid X amount of dollars because the market was already set at the quarterback position. Go ask Jacksonville and Trevor Lawrence. But it just happens that when you're a snake-bitten franchise over the last 10 plus years, and you draft a running back in the top 5, and you draft a quarterback at number 6 that no one really even heard of, which was beyond a reach, this is the bed that you made, and this is the bed that you have to lay in now. And that's the Giants. Before the season started, you guys asked me, what do I realistically think they were going to do? And I said probably 4 to maybe 6 wins. And I laid it out for you. And I've ad nauseum have kept saying when they're 2-6, 2-7, 2-8, they're benching the quarterback. Now, he'll play on Monday night, and they're probably about a 6.5 point dog. I haven't looked, because they're not going to throw DeVito out there, and they're not going to throw Locke. The head coach still believes Jones gives them the best chance of winning, but at this point, it just doesn't matter. And I don't like to say teams are tanking, because in football, guys get hurt. They make their business decisions. But man, I'm telling you, it's bad to watch. It's bad to watch. Jets are going to go through it. The Raiders are going to go through it. It's just, it's not good. Patriots are going to go through it. You're going to see a new head coach, maybe with the Giants. You'll see a new head coach with the Raiders. You might see a new head coach in New England. You might see a new head coach. Carolina might be one and done with their head coach. I mean, that was embarrassing yesterday. Andy Dalton, the water pistol. I mean, come on. You had a better chance with sexy Jesus, Ginger Jesus out there. Andy Dalton was just bad. And Washington did what good teams do. You absolutely smother a bad team. You put them away, and that's exactly what Washington did. And they're one of the surprises of the NFL season. All right, we'll get to some more of your comments as well. 727-858-6650. Got about 20 to play with on this Power Hour edition of the Drive with Q right here on this Monday in late October. And for some teams, pretty much the season is over. World Series begins Friday. The Dodgers and the Yankees, perhaps a little revenge from 1981. Yes, as soon as I get to segue into my live read, that's when Angel pops his head out. Dígame. Go ahead. Hablando conmigo ahora. Go ahead.
Hey, sorry, for those who are looking for the live version on the app, I had to set up a new studio for my hermano, so I did not get the chance to put it on the app. So it will
Always
be back here
excuses.
for Wednesday. What?
Always excuses. I got Facebook comments. Tell that guy to get in, get his stuff on the ball. What's Angel doing? You know, is he paying attention? Is he sleeping? Is he snoring?
I'm always paying attention. Thank you very much. Hey, it's on the digital radio app. That's the most important one. But on the live version of it, and that's why I told you, and you have to do as well. And I'm not throwing you under the bus, but I had to make a temporary studio. And when I made it, unfortunately, I didn't have the time to put it.
Hold on. You're phoning Aaron Rodgers right now. This is exactly what you're about to throw me under the bus.
I did it.
No. This is what you want. You want the little incredible Shrinky Hermano. You want the little droves of Angel fans to now get your back, because I know what you're about to say. Go ahead, continue. I'll let you go ahead, finish. Go ahead.
I'm not saying that was it.
No, go ahead.
No, that was it.
No. Go ahead.
I didn't get the chance. No, I didn't get the chance to make your studio live on the app. So that's on me, because I had to set up the new temporary studio.
No. What were you saying at 4:58 when you were breaking my balls? Go ahead. Do you want to go back to the conversation? Quote, this is how when I asked you. Go ahead.
No, I'm not going there. That's why I told you that this was on me, because I didn't get a chance as we set up the new studio for you. I didn't get a chance to put it up on the app. I had to shut the other one off to turn this one on, and I didn't get a chance because we're quickly trying to jump on.
You see, this is what I got to deal with. You see the comments coming in right now?
What?
The last comment? Is that really necessary? No, not that one. The second one. Yeah.
Hey, I'm not the one who goes fishing.
They were not biting yesterday. It was very frustrating.
That is frustrating.
Well, listen, you got to have patience, right? And obviously I'm not a patient person, but I was trying to enjoy myself. See, the problem is when I'm trying to enjoy myself, when I'm trying, I mean, seriously, we got a power hour tonight and you guys are just breaking left and right. By the way, Kevin in North Jersey chimes in, Q, you're dying me with this fishing talk. Enough. The old man in the sea, either fish or cut bait. No pun intended. What I was going to say is I have my buddies and I tell them, look, leave me alone. And then I've got a select group. And I have a problem with this. This I have a problem with.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Again, we can break balls. That's fine. But you're popping up and you're texting me when the Giants are losing by 25 to heckle me. I mean, is that necessary? No, I'm not going to try airplane mode on the pond. It's not a pond. It's a jetty. Remember that line in Caddyshack? Pool pond. Yeah. Pond has natural spring water. Probably be better for you. Yeah, it's bad. That's why I said you better hope the Eagles win, because if they lose, I would have came on the air and been really obnoxious. But I have my Yankees to hang my hat on, and Soto, who's going to make $700 million. World Series Game 1, Friday. Steve Gardner will join us. I think it's going to be a hell of a series. I applaud the Mets for their little run. Well done. Guardians, nice little run. Well done. But now you got the big boys in play.
Would this be, 22 for the Yanks? If
Really?
they win it all?
Really?
Listen, I don't know.
I mean, that's, but you have to know that. You have to know how many World Series the New York Yankees have won.
It's got to be 22.
Nope.
Less?
Put it this way, if they didn't win in 2009, we would say 27 up, 27 down for number 27. But instead, it would be 28th.
Oh, I'm sorry. Pardon me.
They played the Dodgers in 77-78, Reggie Jackson, monster series. 3 consecutive home runs, 3 consecutive pitches, and then they lost in 81. And then the Dodgers won in 88. Remember Kirk Gibson? Dodgers won a couple years ago. It will be, I believe, one of the most won in past 23 years. See, we don't need this. Again, Red Sox, but for in the past 20, no one gives a shit about the Red Sox. What are they doing right now besides firing everyone? Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't need to see Red Sox comments coming up on my friggin' feed, Angel. I don't need to see that nonsense. They were a friggin' 500 team. And seriously, stop laughing back there. You need to police the comments a lot better. I don't need that kind of nonsense.
Hey, ex-Madman he just wanted to throw it out there just to let you know, like everybody else.
And he did. He threw it out there, all right?
That's right.
When we start blocking people. No, we can't do that.
That never happened.
6650. By the way, Monday Night Football double dip tonight, which, again, if you like the game, that line's moved now 4.5. Ravens on the road, laying 4.5. Tampa Bay. I told you I do like the over. I think Tampa Bay is going to have to score at least 24-28. That's 49.5. And then we saw the Chargers and the Cardinals. I'm not a fan of this. You bleed over the game. 8:15 to 9 o'clock. Chargers laying 1. Yeah, Chargers laying 1. I think defensively they're going to get to Murray. That's another team. I had Arizona going to the playoffs. If you pull that comment up, we're going to have a problem. 727-8566. Go ahead. Let me see. Go ahead.
It's ex-Madman. What do you want me to say?
It's a Red Sox fan celebrating 20-year anniversary of 4 days in October, all because of Dave. There's another reason I hate Dave Roberts. Dave Roberts reversed the curse by stealing a couple bases, and then all of a sudden the Red Sox had some life against the Yankees, and we know how that ended. So I think the series will be one of the most watched World Series, I would say, over the last 30 years. You have 2 major markets, 2 really great baseball towns, 2 really historic franchises in the Dodgers and the Yankees. So, I saw that World Series Game 1 tickets in LA now, right? Because remember, National League starts Dodgers first, better record. But National League Game 1, I should say Game 1 in LA Friday night. What do you think the tickets are going for?
LA Friday night Game 1. I'm gonna go nosebleeds. I'd go 1,500.
It's not bad. 18 and some change.
Good Lord.
I pulled up SeatGeek. And this is, I don't know where these are, $12.68. This is, let's just say 2 tickets. Section 57, row BB. Wow. No, this is pretty, I mean, you're up there, man. You're with, in the mezzanines, as we like to say. Right? Yeah, the ratings are going to be ridiculous. Joey B, afternoon Q, good afternoon Angel. New York Giants suck. Bet the money line against them every game here on out and win some cash. Joey B with his gambling moment of the day, brought to you by our good friends over Played Against Sports. And 20% off your first order of fresh roasted coffee, BYP 20. Hey man, you guys are buying the coffee. Cha-ching, cha-ching. That's all I have to say. Joey B just sneaks in the Giants suck, and then he gets the hell out of here. That's pretty much it. Hold on. When will the Giants will be favored? This is, wow. They might be favored in one more game this year. Actually, I don't think they've been favored yet, but they might be favored in one game this year. And that's Carolina.
Okay.
Oh, and that game's in Germany. Oh, jeez. So wait, that game starts at 9:30. So I'm planning this out. Hold on. And what date is that? So that's November 10th. I can probably squeeze in, depending if it's 55-60, I'm fine. I bundle up. If that game's at 9:30, I can shut you guys up and I can sit there and say, I'll watch the game live. And then at 12:30. That's fair, right? That's a good, fair arrangement. Because I don't want to hear anymore. You're not a. Get the hell out of here, please. Walking friggin' encyclopedia. Don't tell me I'm not a diehard football fan. I can reel them all with the best of them. I just get tired of watching losing. Seriously, don't you get tired of losing?
Yep.
Hold on. Pull up Joey. What did he say? There's another wise ass comment. No. Did you pull up the second one? No. Go up. No.
Yep. I pull this one up.
Oh, you did. I didn't read it. Oh, is that
Yeah.
why you're laughing when the Giants are on? I switch your antenna mode on my TV. Oh my. Joey, I got an issue. I gotta take a little umbrage. Hold on a second. Hold on. So you're sitting there with the squigglies at 1:00, my friend. Come on now.
Well, that's why he says, does Germany have scrambled Skinamax on antenna?
I don't know. I remember the scene in European Vacation. So you mean the weather needs to be fair for you to fish? Remember that scene when Chevy Chase was like, who the hell called Chicago?
Yeah.
That's a great. I'm telling you, the part when they're sitting at the table and they're eating, and the daughter turns around, and she goes, "Oh, everything reminds me of Jack."
Yeah. When it did the sausage cut off what it was. Yeah. I really miss
man.
Jack.
Oh my goodness, unbelievable! It's just, I'm telling you, if you got a team that plays good and they make the playoffs year in and year out, enjoy it. I mean, honestly, if the Eagles were 1-5, 1-6, 1-7, I'm sure you're going to watch, but after a while, you're just going to be like, I don't need this nonsense. Like, you're investing your time, your energy. Some people are investing their money to go to these games, to drive, gas, tolls, park, tickets, merchandise, food, and you don't even show up. That's embarrassing. That is absolutely embarrassing to watch. And it's worse. Oh, it's a classic movie. Absolutely classic. There were so many great scenes. Oh, look at that. Can't get over, huh? There's Big Ben Parliament.
Yeah.
So Dan on X sends me this. He goes, Q, you're 100% dead on in your opening monologue with the shoddy tackling and the lack of effort. As a fan, I can't tolerate that. That's it. That is it. Like, if you cannot give me max effort, then why should I support that? Again, I don't care if you're a bad team. But there's a difference from being bad and just not talented enough. I mean, Devontae Adams said last night, yeah, I was looking around the huddle. I'm like, this is scary. We're talented. No, you're not. You're not a really well-coached team. Your quarterback is cooked. Your running back's nice. Your wide receiver is suspect and inconsistent at times. And then there's you. And you got some injuries as well. So they're dealing with some injuries. So all these teams right now, in another week or two, you're going to know who the real players are in the NFL. You're going to know who the pretenders are. You're going to know who the contenders are. And there are teams, Cincinnati trying to get back on track. San Francisco is trying to figure out their identity. Yeah, the Eagles are 4-2, but who are they? Right? Minnesota. Okay, everyone's going to sit there and say, see, Minnesota came back down to life. Not really. That was a wild, fluky game. Dan Campbell's going for it on 4th and 5 from his own 25. I mean, this is who he is. He doesn't change. So to kind of come full circle, I'm talking about Brian Daboll. A couple years ago, you were an aggressive guy. You're not that guy anymore. What happened? Well, we know in Detroit, Campbell is exactly who we thought he is. He's always going to be aggressive. He's going to live and die by the sword. And if it bites him in the ass, so be it. He'll live with that mistake. But this is who they are. Sirianni's always going to go for it on 4th down. Anytime it's 4th and 5 and you're running the football, 95% of the time, you're going for it on 4th and 2 if you pick up a yard or two. So these guys are not changing who they are. But you have a head coach in New York that keeps wavering. It's a revolving door. Who are you? Are you the aggressive guy? Or are you coaching scared? Coaching scared doesn't win you games in the NFL. It just doesn't. We got Jay popping up at 6.
See.
All right. So we'll start wrapping it up. Good stuff with the comments. I'm sorry if I didn't get the guys on Facebook. Wednesday, we'll see if we can jump on a little earlier. And then Friday, we'll go back to a nice little 2-hour Football Friday edition. We'll give Joey B the last word here. Sam Darnold, are we seeing the result of a late bloomer? Now a guy in the right system for a skill set. My point, NFL teams don't always need to choose the best player on the board. Again, yes, agree. draft to fit your system. I think you're seeing a situation where maybe you had a quarterback that you gave up on a little too soon. We're seeing it, Jared Goff in Detroit, right? Late bloomers. That's what it's all about. These guys, different system, different scheme, right coaching, and they're thriving. All right, you got Monday Night Football, as I mentioned. I like the Chargers tonight, and I like the Ravens. Good stuff with the comments. Keep them rolling. 727-858-6650. KJ, Central Jersey. Love the show. Q, what happened to technical difficulties usually come on right at the top of the hour. Ooh, wow. KJ taking a little
Okay.
shot.
All right. How about I just end the show right now without no exit?
Come on now. We don't let's keep this sophisticated. Angel Martinez behind the glass, producing the show, keeping us on the air. You got Jay shows coming up next, 6 to 8. Keep it locked in. No Pete Shepard the rest of the week. Martinez and company Monday, Wednesday, Friday from 10 to 12. Myself, The Drive with Q, 4 to 6. We will talk to you guys on Wednesday, Friday. We will do it 2 full hours on Football Friday. What the frig? Friday edition, World Series baseball, college football as well. As always, have a wonderful Sports Monday. Good stuff with the comments. Appreciate everyone tuning in, and you guys are always a blast to go back and forth and keep it locked in. Coming up at 6, we will talk to you guys again on Wednesday. No need to apologize, Joey. We always appreciate you guys keeping with us for an hour plus 2 hours. Have a good Sports Monday. Enjoy the football tonight. Again, we'll go baseball heavy on Wednesday with Steve Gardner. Lloyd Vance is going to join us with his Vance's view on the NFL Week 7. We'll start to sneak preview Week 8. As always, be safe, be sound. Hasta luego, buen día.